The next joint I'm going to be looking at is a dovetail joint, normally used in carcass construction, but this time I'll be continuing with the frame construction. Frame construction means that I'll be joining these two pieces with a single pin in that form. For the dovetail joint today, the wood has been prepared as outlined before. That's down to width, thickness, and I've split it. There are two parts to a dovetail joint, the pin and the tail. So we are going to start with the tail, and to do that we need to use a sliding bevel. Sliding bevel allows us to mark out the angles. The angles used, the general angles used with dovetails, are 1 and 6 for softwood, 1 and 8 for hardwood. I'm afraid I tend to vandalise my desks, and there are two lines there. The first one's 1 and 6 and this one's 1 and 8. Today I'm setting at 1 and 8. So using the sliding bevel, set it at that and tighten it. From a square end on the wood that we're going to use, I need to measure back the thickness. So wood goes on and I use it rather than measure. Squaring from face side face edge, that datum edge that I keep going on about, and I'm going to square this line all the way around. I'm using the face side face edge as much as possible. I can't use it here, but I can join up the dots. Having done that, I need to then decide how far in to come from either side. In this case, I think 10mm would be perfect. So mark it. I'm going to use marking gauge. Doesn't matter that it's not the face side because I have to mark on both, and all I'm doing is transferring a size. So I'm taking that size there, at whatever I measured, I'm putting a mark on here to be the same. Then I transfer the shape of the dovetail, so in and up. Turn it over, in and up. That's the waste wood. Continue marking round the side, and I need to mark it on that side as well. I've marked both sides. To take the size across there, I can simply just draw the line across, or I could use a rule. To take that across. Now it's simply a case of sawing. The shoulders are where the accuracy is needed, so using the system you've seen before of knife on the line and then V with the chisel. Creates that groove for sawing. Into that groove, and it's important this time to keep the saw as vertical as possible. Work down one, work down the other, straighten it off. To do that saw cut, I want to put the wood in the vise as low as possible, but also so that the saw cut's going to be straight. Cut the notch as I've shown you with the T-halving joint, and again with the saw.
establish the groove and work down the line. Take the line down the other side, level it off, and piece comes away. I have that to do to the other side. When creating the tail shape, it's important that those get cut straight, because that is going to have to fit in, and if you taper it, it will either be too tight or you'll have gaps. I don't need to do any more. I've cut that out, and I'm now going to use that face side to face side to mark out the tail, the pins. That's the tail. So this goes on. I'll put the other piece as low as I can in the vise. I'll line up the shoulders and draw. Take this out, get a depth to go down to. So I put that on, spin it round so you can see, and I put a mark. Face side, face edge, I square that mark out across, and again all the way round. Now this time, using a square, I'm going to transfer those marks down. I could, if I wished, set the marking gauge. So I'm setting the marking gauge to the size and taking it down, or I can simply use the square. This time the waste wood is in the middle, and once again it's sawing. Vertical in the vise this time. I'll do my nick for the saw on both of them at the same time, since I have the knife in hand. And then saw. Sawing on the inside of the line. Establish the groove along the top and take the heel down. Take the toe down, level off. This chunk in the middle I'm going to chisel out. I'm going to use a narrower chisel, and again my chisel is less than halfway, so once again, as with the T-halving, I'm going to do a saw cut in the middle. No need for knifing and Ving, it's not an accurate cut. This now has to get clamped to the bench so that I can chisel it. When chiseling, I'm going to have the straight face towards the line, the bevel edged out, so it's going to push the chisel towards the line. Therefore, I'm going to start a couple of millimeters or a millimeter away from the line. Golden rule of the chisel: all 10 fingers behind the blade at all times. Okay, just let me get comfortable here. Come in. I don't have a piece of scrap wood underneath what I'm chiseling, because I have absolutely no intention of going all the way through. Move it along, remember to come out that millimeter or so. Move it along, remember to come out. That's just too much. Adjust. And work along that line Now you'll notice that I have the chisel pointing into the wood slightly. That's off the vertical. That'll provide me with a good shoulder. Should I find it getting difficult, what I can do is from the end is tap in and break some pieces off. Once I've gone so far, and maybe just one round of chiselling, I'm going to turn it over and chisel from the other side. Now this time it's the wide face, so don't go so close up to the edge because that is sloping inwards. You don't want the chisel going down and cutting the shoulders. Come back once I've got it chiselled. It's done. Straight fit. It is nice when it goes together. Sorry, that way round. Correct first time round. However, in order to show some of the tidying up processes, I've cut another one that's smaller and it won't fit. I have two choices: to reduce the tail or to open out the pins. Already splinters and such like in there, so I feel that I need to open that out. In the vise, and using the chisel, I'm going back to the broader chisel. Take the edge down, and if need be, being careful when I reach the other end or the other side, taking that corner out to there and taking it down to the line but not below it. I'll turn it round. Now unfortunately I'm working away from you at the moment, and my shoulder's probably going to get in the way and all sorts of things over here, but I would work then from this side over and again clean in there. I need to do the same process with the other side of the opening. Lovely tight joints, still got a bit to go down yet, so it means I've got to clean that bottom bit, and that cleans it up to give me a nice dovetail shape.